Well, welcome to the 2022 Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce Annual Meeting. My name is Maureen Scanlon-Failer, and I'm the president of the Chamber. And you guys, I am so pleased that you have joined us here today for our meeting. It truly means a lot. Our theme today is Together Towards Tomorrow. The challenges we have faced throughout 2021, the obstacles that we have overcome, and the grit we've demonstrated have made us stronger and more resilient at businesses and as a community. We put our energy and focus on recovery. We drew from lessons learned and strength gained from this past year. We have been flexible. We have shown innovation. We have shown commitment and a keen desire to be the best. We have come together for the purpose of working towards tomorrow. Today, we celebrate the resiliency of the Dakota County business community. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our presenting sponsor for today's program, the Minnesota Vikings.
Every fan has their favorite memories, from the pregame tailgate to the miracle moments. Relive your favorite memories or experience them for the first time at the Minnesota Vikings Museum. Ticket information at vikings.com/museum.
I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our other sponsors. Without sponsors such as these, programs like this that help build and strengthen our community would not be possible. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. All right, as we all know, there's always adjustments in meetings. We had hoped Senator Amy Klobuchar could be here today. However, due to her travel schedule, she cannot be here. So please watch a message that the senator sent to us.
Hello to all my friends at the Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce. I want to especially recognize Maureen Scanlon-Failer, Kyle Schenk, and Janet Benton for your dedicated leadership throughout the coronavirus pandemic, as well as with the businesses, the great businesses in Dakota County. And I also want to thank Aaron Johnson for delivering today's keynote. To all the leaders who've joined us today, I know how hard this has been. The pandemic cost so many of you business, and now workforce shortages, something that we're seeing throughout our state and is one of my top priorities. But through it all, you have persevered and continued to drive our economic recovery in Dakota County and throughout our state. As we look towards tomorrow, I am laser focused on moving our economy forward. From the highways, bridges, buses, and trains that connect our growing region, to the ports and railroads that connect our supply chain, to the high-speed internet that lets businesses reach customers from hundreds of miles away. As you know, we've just made a huge once-in-a-generation investment in our future with the bipartisan infrastructure law. About 200,000 working-age Americans tragically died from the coronavirus. 5 million other workers left the workforce for various reasons as a result of the pandemic. So what can we do together? One, we need to help Americans access apprenticeship, skills training, community college. I don't know how many times I said we're not going to have a shortage of sports marketing degrees in my presidential campaign. We're going to have a shortage of electricians and plumbers and healthcare workers and coders. So we need to create incentives with loans, repayment, with, I believe, free 1- and 2-year degrees to get students and retrained workers into the fields where we need them. Secondly, we have to make sure moms and dads can access affordable childcare. And third, we've got to do something about immigration reform. By investing in 21st century infrastructure and strengthening our workforce, we can truly move together towards tomorrow. I want to again thank the forward-focused Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce for offering me a chance to speak. I am so proud to be your partner in Congress. I think you know I was in the private sector for over a decade. Big believer in what you do. I'm really looking forward to working with you and seeing you in person. very soon.
Over this last year, we have worked to restart our charitable foundation. The foundation's work is critical for the success of our members and community partners. I am pleased to introduce Mark Loftus, Chair of the Dakota County Regional Chamber Charitable Foundation. Mark.
Well, thank you very much, Maureen. I suspect that many of you are not aware that we do have a charitable foundation at the Chamber. Well, we do, and I've got a couple of minutes to give you a quick update on the work of the foundation and why you may be interested in the things we have going forward. Indeed, we are a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, so any contributions that we get are tax deductible as charitable contributions. And we exist purely for community and educational purposes in support of the Chamber. The members of the foundation board are myself as chair, Maureen, in her role as president, is on the foundation board. John Altoff is our secretary. He is a former Chamber board member and also on our board. Lisa Franksman with Mid-Country Bank is the treasurer of the Chamber and treasurer of the foundation. And we have two members who are appointed by the board. They are Young Bebus, who is with VR Business Brokers, and Sophia Troutman, who's now with Excel Energy. This is a very active board, and we are committed to the mission that we have. And I want to give a special shout out today to John Altoff. John could not be here today, but a few years ago, John made a concerted effort to bring the foundation back into strong, active life, and encouraged us to make it a very active tool for community and economic improvements in Dakota County. So thank you, John. I know you're going to be watching this, so we appreciate your efforts. So the foundation has been around for a number of years and recently began to operate more actively and more strategically. Some of the things that we've been doing. In recent years, since 2014, we've awarded over $26,000 in scholarships to young women who are going out of college, and we've awarded those at the annual Women's Forum. We've also awarded $2,400 in recent years to nonprofits who are doing great work to keep the fabric of Dakota County strong during this pandemic time. And we've also channeled funds from area businesses into an important transit study that will have ongoing work to help overcome obstacles in workforce mobility and shortages and help with your business success. And over the last few years, contributions to the foundation have come from individual businesses, from things like our silent auctions that we have, at our annual golf tournament where we have contributions, and fun events like the dessert auction at the annual Business Excellence Awards. And those things will be continuing this year. Now, as I said, we're also becoming more strategic and being more aggressive. And this year, we're moving into an additional area to support a healthy business environment in Dakota County. The main new focus that we're working on is scholarships and funding to help support people who are seeking to fill the jobs in demand at your firms for positions that might require certification or accreditation at two-year colleges. So we'll be looking for additional funds from the state, from foundation sources, from other places, in order to help fill these kinds of jobs and working with your companies. And you can help us by talking with us about your interest in partnering perhaps with apprenticeships or internships. And we have a lot of exciting opportunities going forward this year. So thank you for the opportunity to talk today, Maureen. And thank you all for listening. Hope to talk to you and accomplish a lot more in the coming months. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you for your commitment to the Chamber and to the Foundation Board. Mark recently retired from Dakota. Recently? You've never retired. What am I saying? And his commitment and volunteerism should be commended, so thank you. The work we do is spearheaded by our Chamber Board of Directors, and their commitment to this organization to ensure success is deeply appreciative. Let's hear from our chair and immediate past chair.
As TCOs continue to navigate through the pandemic, we brought our employees back, our clinics are busier than ever. We've really looked to the chamber to help us navigate that with programming and providing resources for a smooth transition.
And I think in 2022, everyone has to be flexible, adjust to the opportunities that the new workforce brings in, and really the chamber can help us be present and get back into real person events.
Absolutely.
We just opened 261 apartments, have the Omni Hotel, and then a lot of corporate buildings around campus. So transit is really important to us. We actually work with MBTA to get buses out here. We actually have school buses on site now as well too. And the chamber is committed to investing into the future of public transportation and all transportation throughout the county. And I really think that having that opportunity to make sure that it's not just Viking Lakes, but the entire commercial, residential ecosystem is crucial for the entire chamber.
I completely agree. And part of that is, with TCO being on the Eagan campus, what you've done for transit here is pivotal to our success as well. Our employees, patients, everyone needs to have easy access in and out, and the Chamber's transit study has just helped support that. Building and retaining a strong workforce is key for every business in Dakota County, and the Chamber plays a pivotal role in that. And it's evidenced in our strategic plan with the focus on growing future leaders. I think the Chamber advances that with our programming and everything we do. It's just key that we keep employees and the workforce strong in Dakota County.
Yeah, I believe that's a really pivotal aspect of our strategic plan that I'm a part of, and really want to focus on developing future leaders. We do that here at Viking Lakes and make sure that we are communicating with the future leaders to make sure that they know there's more beyond just pay and benefits, that we're
Absolutely.
really focused on bringing them into the community here at Dakota County.
Kyle, I think I can speak for all the members of the board and business community in Dakota County when I say I'm excited about the outlook. I think that the Chamber, with our strong strategic plan and everything we're doing to support transit, workforce development in the community, I think we're positioned for success, and I'm excited to see what happens with the board under your leadership in the next year.
Well, thank you. You left us in really good hands. I'm excited to take over from here, lead us in a great direction for 2022. And there's never been a better time to be a part of the Chamber as we go together towards tomorrow.
I agree.
That's our fireside chat. Fondly nicknamed. It is now my honor to introduce Janet Benton, immediate past chair of the Chamber Board of Directors and Chief Operating Officer at Twin City Orthopedics. Janet, come on up.
Thank you, Maureen. It has been my pleasure to chair this great organization. The commitment of the board and staff is to be commended. Let's give them all a round of applause. Over the past year and a half, we have worked closely with DEED, the Department of Employment and Economic Development. This partnership is important to all businesses and communities. Let's hear from Commissioner Grove, who has provided leadership to all.
You as a chamber have just been such a great partner to DEED over the past couple of years. Maureen and the whole team have been a great source of advice, a great source of partnership when we've worked together to do things like distribute masks across the whole county when that whole effort began last year, and really just to consistently get a sense for what the pulse is for businesses in your county. It's just been really critical to us, so thank you for that. We face really tumultuous and unique economic times. There are things happening in our economy today that none of us could have ever predicted, and so much of what happened during COVID also accelerated trends that we all knew were on the horizon much faster than ever before. We've seen people retire from jobs more quickly. We've seen disparities in equity get greater. And we've seen new challenges as it relates to worker availability. And I know you're hearing this from every business in your county. We know that businesses are struggling to find qualified workers and to find it fast enough to get our growth moving. Being more assertive, being more innovative, centering our work on equity, all huge priorities for workforce development. And I'll just say, we appreciate your partnership. We have to all do this together. We as an agency know that our partnerships with local government are amongst our most important, and our partnerships with the chambers as well are just critical to us understanding what's going on across the state. And we're grateful to all of you for your leadership, for your hard work. These are challenging times for leaders. You've all been put through tests you never could have imagined, and we're just grateful for your leadership, for your partnership, for your hard work, and we're looking forward to a better 2022.
Under the direction of Maureen, we look forward to working with Commissioner Grove in the future. It is now my honor to introduce the inaugural Ambassador of the Year Award. The work of the ambassadors is very important to the Chamber. This year's award goes to Paula Scovera. She is the Business Development Manager for Advanta Clean and fondly known as Princess Paula. She has participated at many Chamber events, has been an active member of the community, influenced prospective members, and helped to recruit members to come into the Chamber. Please help me in congratulating Paula on this recognition.
So if all of you are here today, you already know how incredible this chamber is. And since all of you are here, that means there's at least 1 to 5 people in your sphere that you can be inviting to become members of the Dakota County Chamber. And as someone who loves to network, I think that part of your networking portfolio should always be a chamber. And if you need to be a member of a chamber, this is the best one to be in. So as you go back to your workplaces today or your home offices, just be thinking and noodling about who you can invite to our next chamber coffee or event. And thanks so much for allowing me to be a part of this exceptional Chamber of Commerce.
I promise you we did not pay Paula to say any of that. Congratulations, Paula. Your contributions and commitment to the Chamber are much appreciated. Our next award is the Dakota County Public Official of Note, which was designed to recognize the contributions of a Dakota County elected official who is committed to ensuring our communities thrive and prosper. We are honored to announce Senator Craig Clausen as the recipient of the Dakota County Public Official of Note Award. Senator Clausen has been in the education sector for over 40 years. He is in his 3rd term as a Minnesota Senator, serving the communities of Apple Valley, Rosemount, Coates, and Northeast Lakeville. He has received several awards since he took office in 2013. During his tenure in the Minnesota Senate, he has served on the Higher Education Finance and Policy Committee and several other important committees. He has attended many chamber events and has been a strong supporter of all of our initiatives. Please help me recognize Senator Greg Clausen.
Well, good afternoon and thank you. This is really a joy because usually I'm going through 200 emails that I receive every day, and most of them are not quite as rewarding as this experience today. So I appreciate that very much. I'd like to thank Maureen for her leadership here with the Chamber, also board members and all of you in this recognition. I really appreciate it. And also a thank you because the Chamber has really helped me become a better legislator. I really believe in data decision making. You need to have information, you need to have facts, you need to make sure that you're not making unintended consequence mistakes when you're dealing with state policy and making statute. And I've attended many of the meetings. The transit study was very important for me as far as gathering information, the housing initiatives, so many other, the public affairs. In fact, I'm looking forward to February 4th, I believe, because many of you are aware who are business owners. We have a $1.1 billion loss in our state unemployment insurance that we need to take care of. I believe we can't put that on the backs of businesses. So I'm really anxious to hear from many of you and from others around the state on how we can really equitably take care of that situation. So once again, thank you so much for this recognition. It's greatly appreciated.
you, Senator Claassen. We appreciate your work and partnership. The Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce continues to make the top 10 list of chambers in Minnesota published by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal. In spite of the challenging year, the chamber moved up to the 8th largest chamber in Minnesota. The Board of Directors held its annual planning session in September 2021. The board updated our chamber's mission and vision statements. These state that the chamber will work hard to be the influential regional voice in Dakota County and be an active regional organization and catalyst for growth. Our LEADS value statement is the foundation of our chamber. Business recovery and resiliency, modernize and digitize, shaping our future leaders, and advocacy and public policy were our primary focus areas. Each of these will continue in 2022 and are very important to the success of the chamber. New businesses who have opened their doors in Dakota County is something that we celebrate. Over the last year, we coordinated 13 ribbon cuttings, with many more to come in 2022. We were also finally able to celebrate the opening of our new office this past September. We had great attendance by our members, community stakeholders, and public officials. Signature events are the cornerstone of the Dakota County Regional Chamber. The Women's Leadership Forum was our first in-person event with a theme of Inspire, Motivate, Celebrate, which spoke to the importance of supporting and investing in the world around us. Over 250 women and men attended the event, along with 24 vendors in the marketplace. We also hosted our Dakota County Regional Chamber Golf Classic in July with over 165 golfers, sponsors, and guests. We raised over $3,000 for our charitable foundation at that event. In August, the Chamber, in partnership with 4 other chambers, held a VIP Vikings training camp event. Over 150 business members attended the sold-out event. Our final event of the year was our annual Business Excellence Awards and Gala, held on November 5th at the Omni Lakes Hotel. We Are the Champions set the stage with 300 attendees. We honored 5 member businesses for their contributions to the community. It was a very successful night. Finally, in 2021, over 2,000 business members, community leaders, public officials attended chamber programs and events, both in person and virtually. Public safety was a much debated topic in 2021 and a priority of the chamber, and will continue to be a priority in 2022.
The Chamber's been a very good partner with not only the Sheriff's Office, but all law enforcement in the county. Cybersecurity is one of the biggest things we're facing, that you are facing as well. There's a lot of scams going on, a lot of email trails, a lot of phishing and shenanigans. So don't hesitate to call us. We have great relationships with the FBI. And the other opportunities we take is when we get the chiefs of police together with myself as the sheriff, and we'll sit on a panel and we'll talk about the current issues that we're facing. Catalytic converter thefts is a big one. Methamphetamine that's coming in from all over the place. Those kind of, the mental illness in our communities, the chemical addiction, all those kind of things that are contemporary with what we're seeing, but the business community may not be aware of, what's going on. And we're willing to have those forums annually, if not every 6 months. We'd be willing to do that and make sure that you understand what we're seeing and hearing and how we can better be a resource for you.
It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as the chair of the Dakota County Regional Chamber Board of Directors. I would like to thank my fellow board members and chamber staff. I would also like to thank my employer, Twin Cities Orthopedics, for giving me the time to serve. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 2022 chair of the Dakota County Regional Chamber Board of Directors, Kyle Schenk, General Manager at Viking Lakes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Maureen wrote this script, so I'm going to divert for half a second and thank the chamber staff. Janet and I can't do this without them. So if we can get a big round of applause for Heather, Becky, Laura, Anna, and Maureen herself. Janet, on behalf of the DCR Chamber Board and members, I want to thank you for your leadership in 2021. Your dedication and hard work helped us get to where we are today. I am pleased to serve as your board chair in 2022. Viking Lakes is a supporter of the partner and chamber. We understand the importance of partnership to achieve mutual goals and objectives. Our theme today and throughout 2022 is Together Towards Tomorrow. We know partnering and collaborating on our priorities will allow us to achieve success together. Working with our congressional delegation is particularly important to the Chamber. Please listen to our U.S. Representative, Angie Craig from District 2.
I know the last 2 years have been incredibly difficult for so many of our small businesses. Small business makes up 93% of the businesses in the 2nd District of Minnesota. That is why I serve on the House Committee on Small Business. It's why I've been so active in helping to set up the Paycheck Protection Program to make sure that so many of your businesses survived in the first stage of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic isn't over. I am painfully aware that many of your businesses are still struggling with the Omicron variant, with so many uncertainties around public health at the moment. Workforce development and staffing and making sure that we have the right skills for the jobs that exist is an incredibly important priority to me. I'm also really happy to announce today that my team and I will be introducing legislation in early 22 to lower the federal tax rate for small businesses. 21% is too high for the small businesses in Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District. Stay tuned for more on that, and as always, I welcome your significant feedback. Thank you again for the work of the Chamber, Maureen, all of the staff. Thank you for those of you who have persevered over the last couple of years. It is truly an honor to represent you.
Our strategic work is centered around the following initiatives. Community outreach. Working with our nonprofit partners to help and assist, whether it's volunteering or supporting their events. The communities depend on these organizations, and we are lucky to have them. Please listen to one of our nonprofit partners.
What I think of when I look at the Chamber's influence on us together is that you all are the volunteers that help DARTS and other organizations thrive. You're the sponsors who help to get the message out, bring people to events. You are the community that helps to embrace our mission and move us forward. That's what we're here for. That's what Chambers can help us to drive our missions towards tomorrow, towards that future. The future is that Dakota County is becoming 20% over the age of 60. Of that number of people over 60, those are the people who show up at the polls. 50 to 60% of all of your voters are over the age of 60. And we're becoming more diverse. Nearly 20% of Dakota County is diverse, and that will continue to grow as time moves on. We are here together as organizations, banding together to amplify our voices, to really make a difference in our communities. So thank you for being a part of the Chamber and our voices.
Economic development. Dakota County grew in population according to the latest census. The county is poised to be the 2nd largest county in the state of Minnesota in the next decade. Let's hear from 2 of our community development partners.
The Chamber is an important link between the city and the business community. The Chamber voices the needs of its businesses and provides context for the city for the relationship and the links between affordable housing and workforce.
The City of Farmington is currently going through a rapid growth phase. The Chamber has been essential in part of this, being able to help with affordable housing, talking about transportation and things that we should consider in the future as we're trying to figure out how to accommodate not only the new residents but also the businesses.
The last 2 years have been a very challenging environment for small businesses. The Chamber was instrumental in providing information to businesses about grant and loan programs, providing networking opportunities for businesses to problem solve with each other, and just provide all that support and technical assistance that businesses need in this really difficult time.
The Chamber of Commerce has also been really wonderful advocates of ours. When we hold events at the City of Farmington, they do a great job of sharing these events in their newsletters and on their website. They also reach out to businesses that they think should attend, and we just really appreciate that they do that on our behalf.
The Chamber provides real-world context, the connections between workforce and housing needs.
They're able to answer questions that the businesses have, and they're able to guide them to resources that are able to help them.
The City values the Dakota County Regional Chamber as a strong economic development partner. We are working together towards tomorrow.
Workforce and housing. As businesses expand to Dakota County, the need for workforce and affordable housing becomes vital. Let's hear from the Dakota County CDA.
Dakota County partners with our business community and our cities and our chambers throughout the county to ensure that we have a place to invest and enhance our housing stock. It's a huge competitive advantage that allows this region to attract employees from around the country. As we know, we've all heard stories about San Francisco's housing costs, the East Coast housing costs. Our intention here at Dakota County and the CDA in partnership with the Chamber is to ensure that we have enough housing stock that's of quality and is affordable to the folks who live here so that they can save up for retirement or save up to buy a house or better their lives. That partnership is key to the economic activity within the community. The future is going to be challenging in that we have a growing community. So we have a lot of land to the south of the county, Rosemont, Umore Park. We have areas that we can expand, but we also probably have some recycling of land. We do some redevelopment dollars at Dakota County CDA. So property that's functionally obsolete or contaminated, that's in a good location, that's located close to transit or transportation infrastructure, we want to help communities recycle that land, get it green again, get it ready for investment. So all of these components work together, and we have to collaborate in order to allow a continued economic activity to occur in Dakota County in partnership with all our communities, our chambers, and our cities.
Transit and transportation. The Chamber continues to advocate for more and better transit for Dakota County, developing a countywide transportation management organization, coordinating demand response services and areas, approving existing local fixed routes, and demand response bus service, along with funding these initiatives, are just a few things that we are working on. Please listen to our transit partners.
Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce has been a partner to Minnesota Valley when it comes to advocating funding as well as support of transit with their transit studies, which has really showed the need for additional transit and expansion in Dakota County.
It's easy to recognize the need for better transit service and to ask for better transit service and to make a recommendation for better transit service. How does that actually happen? It happens through establishing and working with partnerships. We're proud of our partnership with the Chamber. We have developed new and valuable partnerships with Chamber members that allow us to understand the actual on-the-ground needs for transit service in Dakota County.
Minnesota Valley Transit Authority joined the Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce because we wanted to continue to have communication and dialogue with the business community in our service area.
A lot of the current transit service in Dakota County, which has been very successful for many years, has focused on helping Dakota County residents get to jobs in Minneapolis and St. Paul. That's been good for Dakota County, it's been good for Minneapolis and St. Paul, and that regional integration continues to be important. It's a lot harder for a Dakota County resident to get to a job in Dakota County using transit, and that has to change for Dakota County residents and employers to continue to succeed.
Public policy and advocacy. The Minnesota 2022 session, which will convene on February 1st, 2022, will be critical to the business community. Getting the unemployment insurance trust fund issue resolved is extremely important. Businesses will be seeing an increased tax on this if we do not get this resolved. Focusing on a long-term funding solution for transit and transportation, reforming healthcare, and most importantly, ensuring our businesses can continue to thrive and grow are essential during this session. Modernize and digitize. As technology evolves, the Chamber will need to ensure we invest in our various platforms. Refreshing our website and increasing our social media presence is a priority. The Chamber is proud to introduce the Discover Dakota County podcast and video series in partnership with Town Square TV. These podcasts will be geared toward the many benefits offered in Dakota County communities. Here's a sneak peek of the pilot.
Before we get started, I'd like to thank our two sponsors, the Minnesota Vikings and the Egan Convention and Visitors Bureau.
We started just 4 weeks before COVID shut us down.
I can still picture where the car lift was, where the air compressor was, where the tire rack was.
We were very
cash poor at the time, and we had to just get a bunch of credit cards and kind of like go for it.
We had a beautiful 4 weeks, and then we had to get scrappy.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
I became a restaurateur almost overnight.
I actually said no to him, and then he went and complained to my wife about me at the diner at the Eagle location. And she called me like, "Why are you so mean to this guy?"
Why Dakota County? Why do you have a business here? Maybe I'll start with you.
Well, I felt like I was the community. I felt like I represented what other people were needing.
I love doing charity within the community. That's how I grew Egan.
I'm totally fangirling on these guys because they are who I want to be someday.
I think we all know that the restaurant business is one of the hardest businesses to succeed in.
Right.
It's probably illegal what I did.
So I like to get really involved in the community where I can make a difference.
We love, coming up with exploring a different spirit or a different culinary tradition.
Yeah, we're still newbies, so we're figuring it out.
Future workforce and shaping our future leaders. Education is critical to our future workforce. Listen to our education partner, Dr. Teresa Battle with ISD 191.
We have currently 200 industry partners, and so we value and are always looking for our business partnerships, our chambers to support us in the work so students can thrive and so they can see their possibilities. And so I've mentioned a few of those partnerships, but we also have partnerships that the chamber does bring to us, and also the chamber helps with grants. We have a Department of Labor and Industry grant, which allows paid work experience for our high school students. And one of the reasons they supported us getting the grant was because of our strong partnerships. Also, the Dakota Regional Chamber has offered scholarships to high school students. We are very excited that we have received notification that your application will be coming soon, and we are very hopeful that our students will apply and one of them will receive a scholarship. So partnership is very important. As I said, the only way to support our students is to collaborate and to be together in partnership.
As the need to develop a pipeline of talent for jobs in Dakota County, we need to be innovative to achieve this endeavor. Working with our partners at the Dakota-Scott County Workforce Development Board and our higher and local education partners will continue. Let's listen to Jeffrey with Dakota Electric Association and Michael with DCTC and Invert Hills Community College.
The Chamber curates and fosters relationship with local, state, federal staff, and elected officials so that we as a community are in a better place to get things done.
One of the things I most value about our membership in the Chamber is the opportunity to connect with area employers. Just last week, Maureen attended the program manager for our Minnesota State Commercial Driving Academy as he went out and met with Darts, also a DCR Chamber member. And they talked about opportunities for us to lease trucks and to work with their instructors to expand the number of Class A and Class B drivers available to our area employers. This is just one example of the many ways in which we can work through the Chamber with our area employers to meet the needs of our workforce.
Schools at all levels are educating and preparing students for life. And in essence, they're preparing our future workforce. And we work in partnership with the Chamber and businesses and schools to raise awareness of job needs in our industry and industries with high job demands.
So at Invert and DCTC, we aspire to be the partners of choice for our area employers, whether that's looking for workers, creating pathways to employment, or it's providing ongoing skill development, or even upskilling through tuition reimbursement programs. These are all things that we'd like to work with employers on to help them recruit and retain high quality talent. And we know that our chambers are great partners in that work.
Leadership Academy. The Chamber is also excited to announce another new program in 2022, the Executive Leadership Academy. This 8-month robust program provides half-day sessions geared toward any level executive, whether new to their career or an experienced executive. The future is bright. with the clear and defined direction of our programs and initiatives. Each chamber member's commitment and engagement to achieve our goals and objectives will ensure that Dakota County continues to thrive together towards tomorrow.
Together
towards tomorrow.
Together towards tomorrow.
Together towards tomorrow.
Thank you all for your support of the Dakota County Regional Chamber. Thank you again to all of our sponsors. Please check the Chamber's calendar for future events on the website. I look forward to seeing you at our programs and events this year. Please allow me to welcome Janet Benton back up.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today's meeting, Aaron Johnson. I've had the privilege of working with Aaron at TCO over the past 5 years. I've watched him excel at the COO role and then most recently transition into the CEO role. There's no doubt in my mind that Aaron is the right person to lead our organization. He's a visionary leader who isn't afraid to take risks. He drives for success, but he makes it fun at the same time. And he's going to hate that I'm mentioning this, but he was also just named one of the 40 under 40 leaders by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal, which is a much deserved honor. So please join me in welcoming Aaron Johnson.
That's going on her performance review. But first of all, thanks for having me today. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna start by telling everyone I'm part of the 70% of the population who hates public speaking. So if you see me up here sweating, that's actually pretty normal for me. I'll expect Janet to throw me a towel, but if I pass out, I'm hoping there's a physician in the room or someone can come help me out there. So really appreciate being here. I'll try and be quick. I know we had a heavy lunch with some food that's sticking to the ribs, but when Maureen asked me to come give a quick talk to the group today, she asked me to make it personal. So bear with me on that. I don't find my personal life to be incredibly interesting, but I'll give you a little bit of background of kind of who I am, where I came from, and what led me to TCO, and how we plan to move forward in the coming years. And I think this is the clicker. Perfect. So that is my family. My wife Heather of 13 years. I have two girls who are the joys of my life, 8 years old and 4 years old. And we have a new golden retriever puppy named Eddie. We live out in Waconia. We've been there about 2.5 years now. Prior to that, I lived in Plymouth. That is Eddie now. And actually not now. This was probably 5 months ago. He's now about a 90-pound golden retriever. As you can see, there are no boundaries with him. So he's jumped on our dining room table multiple times. I've chronicled his life with Janet. I call him the $10,000 dog because he's eaten rocks, jewelry, toilet paper. He's been to the emergency room. He's been admitted twice. So he's an expensive dog. He better have a long and healthy life from here on out. Go to the next one. I'm also an avid hunter. I'll apologize to those of you in the room who aren't, but this is a picture of me actually this past fall out in Colorado. I go elk hunting in Colorado every year. That animal produced about 300 pounds of meat for my family, so we'll be well stocked for the next year or two. I'm a born and raised Minnesotan, so my folks still live in the house I grew up in, Maple Grove. I'm the oldest of 4 kids. We all played hockey. It was kind of religion for us, like it is for many of you and many of your kids, is my guess. So naturally, I'm turning into one of those crazy hockey parents now. So my daughters are both playing hockey in the Waconia Hockey Association, and I'm fortunate enough at this point, given the schedules aren't too demanding, that I'm actually able to coach both of their teams. So I spend my weekends at the rink and on the ice with both of my girls, Claire and Maya. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to transition to TCO, give you a little bit of background about Twin Cities Orthopedics. Hopefully most of you are familiar with the organization. But we are one of the largest independent orthopedic practices in the country. When I started at TCO 11 years ago, we were the 3rd largest independent group in the country. Like many industries, over time, And a lot of this has been exacerbated by the pandemic. We're seeing a ton of consolidation in orthopedics and healthcare in general. So right now, I would say with about 120 physicians, we're probably top 10 in the country. And as I continue to work through my slides here, we plan to continue to grow and work toward that top 5 size range here in the coming years. We have 40 locations currently throughout the Twin Cities metro area. We are into western Wisconsin. We go as far west as Olivia, Minnesota. We are starting to move out state. Janet did a nice job securing an agreement for us down in Winona with Winona Health. We have some physicians who are working up in the Staples community as well. So we are starting to branch out and have more of an outstate strategy to try and grow our catchment area and get more patients into TCO. We are the market leader with orthopedic urgent cares. We have 9 sites right now. I think the next closest with other practices probably have 3. And that's been a great access point for what we do. Over half of the patients who come to our OUCs are new to the practice, which obviously it's important we retain the patients that we have an established relationship with, but in order to continue to grow and justify all the building that we've done in the last few years, we need to continue to add those new patients to the group. 18 hand therapy and 20 physical therapy locations. You know, a lot of TCO's growth in the last 5 to 7 years has been through our ancillary departments, and therapy is one of those. When I started in 2010, we had 10 physical therapists in the practice. Now we have over 300. So we've become the largest physical therapy and hand therapy provider in the state of Minnesota, and that continues to grow. 5 prosthetics and orthotics locations. So we deal with a fair amount of amputees, folks who need orthotics, so we do have 5 of those sites inside of the practice as well. 9 imaging locations with 11 MRI scanners. We started to add weight-bearing CT units. We were the first in Minnesota to do that a number of years ago. The next closest location was Chicago. The reason I point that out, it just speaks to the fact that our physicians are continuing to invest in technology and innovation, which is really driving patient experience and the best patient outcomes possible. We're actually a little bit over 1,800 dedicated employees inside of TCO now, so we are a mid-sized organization. If you factor in the surgery centers that we have, probably a little bit north of 2,000. Quite proud of the fact that we are a top workplace with the Star Tribune for 11 years in a row. Culture is incredibly important to us at TCO. We live it and breathe it every day. And I hope that if you visit one of our clinics, you'll see that with our frontline staff members. And we've been in the community over 80 years. Most people don't know that. TCO is the end result of 7 independent orthopedic groups coming together under one umbrella. So most of these practices have been in their respective communities for over 80 plus years at this point, with our most recent integration being St. Croix Orthopedics in 2015. We are the market leader in partnerships, and that was a point that I wanted to stress today with this group. Obviously, you know, at the Chamber, you're looking to forge relationships and partnerships. And I would say, I'm biased obviously, but from an orthopedic standpoint, TCO is definitely leading the way in that regard. We have 48 high school partnerships, which to the outsider looking in, most people probably don't realize that that is a significant investment for us. It is an expense for us. We sort of view it as a marketing expense. But we feel it's incredibly important to support the schools and the communities we're in, establish relationships with student athletes, coaching staff, the athletic directors, and then of course the family members of those student athletes as well. So 48 high schools, I don't even know what the next closest group is. It's probably less than half of that at this point, and we continue to invest in those relationships. We have 12 club partnerships as well, 6 collegiate partnerships, mostly in the MIAC, and then finally 4 professional partnerships with U.S. Curling, Saints Twins, and then of course our relationship with the Minnesota Vikings. With our relationship with the Minnesota Vikings, we are the very proud naming rights partner. It's a 20-year relationship. We're 5 years in. Can't believe I'm saying that. But naming rights partner, the TCO Performance Center and TCO Stadium. I'm guessing most of you have seen that given where we're all sitting today. But if you haven't, I'd strongly encourage you to get out there. It's really just a fantastic development. It's been just a great addition to TCO. And Viking Lakes is home to TCO Egan, so we've got about a 75,000 square foot medical office building there. And then also the training house, which is it's a sister brand, but part of TCO. It's a state-of-the-art 22,000 square foot therapy, sports performance, and training facility that's got technology that you won't find anywhere. Next closest place with the biomechanics lab we have is actually Stanford University. So it is absolutely state-of-the-art. We're collecting millions of data elements to try and make sure we're returning athletes to sport as quickly as we can, but also doing it to make sure that they're not going to re-injure themselves, which obviously is important to those athletes. We have 7 ASCs that our physicians work out of. So ASC is an ambulatory surgery center to the layperson, same-day surgery center, outpatient surgery center. So that's where you're going to go have your ACL repaired. You're not going to spend the night like you might at a hospital. You're going to go home. So we have 7 currently. We are planning for one in the Plymouth market, so we'll have 8 likely in the next year and a half. So what we're seeing is a migration of inpatient surgical cases in orthopedics moving to an outpatient setting due to advancements in technology, medications, et cetera. I'll touch on our Excel program here in a moment. Procedures that had historically been done in a hospital and required maybe a week-long stay or a 2 to 3 day stay with a total knee or total hip replacement are now being safely done in an ambulatory setting. So we've seen a boom in cases moving to our ASCs in the last 3 to 5 years. I added Excel surgery and recovery program because that is one of the things that really put TCO on the map nationally from a clinical programming standpoint. I think we would all agree inside of TCO, the Vikings partnership was what really put us on the map nationally, but we started the Excel program back in 2012 with a group of physicians and administrators sitting around a table trying to figure out how we can improve patient care and outcomes and do it at a lower cost. So how can we really drive that value equation that we can sell to the payers, but also self-insured employers. So we were the first orthopedic group in the country to put together a prospective capitated bundled payment program. That's a mouthful. So really what we did is we set the price, and it's very transparent. We advertise it on our website. So you actually, I'm sure if most of you call and you're trying to figure out what it's going to cost to have a surgery, good luck getting an answer. You're going to have to talk to 7 different providers. They're all going to give you different answers. The insurance company's going to struggle with it too. So with our Excel program, we have a cap price for total knees. It's the same price regardless of who your insurance company is. Same with total hips, shoulders, ankles. We've added complex spine as well. And with that, you get a laundry list of services that are included from your date of surgery all the way through 90 days post-acute. So all of your physical therapy, all of your office visits. We do an overnight stay in one of our orthopedic recovery care suites. We have some really nice ones at the Omni Hotel here in Egan. So it was a program, like I said, that put us on the map. In 2012, we did 12 surgical cases. Last year, we did just over 3,000. So we've had huge growth. I think we'll continue to see that year over year. I wouldn't be surprised this year if we surpass the 4,000 case mark. And last year alone, we figured just based on historical averages, we saved the payers and employers just over $32 million with that program. Our outcomes are better, and our patient experience is through the roof. So that is a main focus of TCO, is continue to focus on value-based care. A lot of people throw those words around as something they're talking about, evaluating, want to do it. Well, we've been doing it at TCO for 10 years now. It's something we're quite proud of. And, Maureen asked me, touch on what drew you to TCO. I mean, candidly, I was a kid. I was 26 years old, and they were a big company and looked like a great place to work. But they had a great reputation already, and I could tell just through their reputation and meeting with the physicians prior to joining the group that they absolutely had a focus on quality, patient experience, growth. We're a very entrepreneurial practice. I'm a competitive person. They're competitive people, so personalities aligned. And then finally, and I would say most importantly, is the culture and the people there. We have fantastic physicians, a phenomenal leadership team. People like Janet make me look good every day, which is great. And it's, like I said, it's something that we talk about all the time, and you see it with our employees. They're very proud to work at TCO. They're wearing their TCO quarter zips out in the community. And that, those are just a handful of the many things that drew me to TCO as a practice. Future priorities, no secret, growth. We're trying to add 10 new physicians each of the next 5 years, which is a pretty significant lift, especially knowing that for every one physician we hire, we need to hire about 15 employees. So as we talk about the stresses on the labor force and recruiting and retaining employees right now, I'm all ears if you have some good ideas or strategies to help us, because we're busy. We have at least 60 open positions on a daily basis at this point. New market growth, as I touched on earlier, moving into some outstate markets to expand our catchment area, cast a little bit broader net. Operational excellence, I think that goes without saying. We're all focusing on that in our own companies. We are implementing a bunch of new technology solutions to try and improve the patient experience and engage patients in a different way. One of them is just online appointment scheduling, to give you a little bit of a flavor of what we're looking at. Physician and employee success, some of the culture focuses we have, just, again, ongoing talent assessment and professional development, implementing those tools or pulling those levers to make sure we are retaining our up-and-coming leaders inside of the practice and our talented employees. And then back to culture, the challenge we've had is, with 40 sites and growing employees, how do we really grow and not dilute the culture? We talk about that a lot as well. It's always felt like a family company inside of TCO, and as we've grown, we don't want to lose that feeling, and make sure the employees who have been with us for the last 10 to 15 years don't feel like they're moving into too much of a corporate type environment. And then surgery center strategies, I already touched on that. We're going to continue to see inpatient orthopedic cases move into an ambulatory setting, which will benefit the patient, it'll benefit employers, payers. It's a lower cost option, and I would argue at higher quality and better outcomes. How do we achieve that success? First and foremost, goes without saying, we need to maintain patient focus. We can't ever take our eyes off the ball when it comes to taking care of patients. Expand our value-based care offerings, just like the Excel program, try to move that into other orthopedic types of procedures. Continue to add new partnerships. We've got a lot, but we want to continue to build on that. Support the communities we serve, and continue to engage with things like the Dakota County Chamber to establish and cultivate relationships with leaders in the community. I'm a firm believer that part of the reason TCO has been as successful as we have been is because we have been visible and present in the community and active with chambers. And like most of your businesses, I'm guessing, healthcare is all about relationships too. So we want to continue to strengthen relationships, strengthen our ties in the communities, stay involved in things like the chamber. We see it as a two-way street. When people get involved like Janet has at Dakota County, we know that there is some value back to TCO in some way, shape, or form. So I think you'll continue to see TCO be very present and active in the community, in the Dakota County Chamber, and hopefully that will be welcomed by the group. So with that, that's all I have. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time and the opportunity to come out here today.
Thank you so much, Aaron, and congratulations. 40 under 40. Those when I was in my 40s. I won't go there. But congratulations, Janet, congratulations. Thank you so much. We look forward to this new year, and we hope you have enjoyed today's annual meeting. I would like to, sorry, I'm out of breath because I didn't realize I got to get up here. I want to recognize some public officials that are here with us today. We have Mayor Mike McGuire from the City of Eagan. Mayor, where are you? Thank you. We also have Senator Zach Duckworth from District 58. Thank you so much. We also have Senator Greg Clausen that you heard from earlier, so thank you. On behalf of the Dakota County Regional Chamber, really sincerely, thank you so much for all of your support. Have a great day.